Every woman has a secret, a quiet poison she swallows daily. Mine wasn't quiet, it was a screaming silence in my marriage, a void in my bed that had been growing for over a year. Tonight, the silence was particularly loud. To escape it, I was nursing a gin and tonic in a dimly lit bar, the clinking of ice against glass a pathetic substitute for conversation. Across the small table, my best friend, Sabrina Klein, stirred her own drink, her perfectly manicured nails tapping a restless rhythm. Spill it, Addie, she said, her voice a smooth, confident purr. You've got that look again, the one that says you'd rather be anywhere but here is still better than home. I forced a smile, a brittle thing that probably didn't reach my eyes. It's nothing really, Sabrina sighed, a puff of expensive perfume and exasperation. Don't give me nothing. Is it Greg again? The great Greg Marsh, personal trainer, physique, CEO ambition, and bedroom performance of a startled snail. Her words, blunt as they were, hit the bullseye. I winced, taking a long swallow of my drink. The gin burned a welcome trail down my throat. It's not just that, I finally admitted, my voice barely a whisper. It's the distance. It's like living with a handsome, well-dressed ghost. Sabrina leaned forward, her eyes glinting with a conspiratorial light. Honey, a ghost can't keep you warm at night. Trust me, I know the type. My ex was all chiseled jaw and empty promises. She took a sip of her cocktail, her gaze sweeping over me with an almost clinical assessment. You know, Addie, you're starving, and I don't mean for food. Her words became bolder, a low, seductive hum. He's got the body, but does any part of him get hard besides his abs? If all he's doing is slobbering on you like a puppy, you're going to go insane. I didn't react. I was used to Sabrina's frankness. It was part of her charm, part of the reason she never lacked male attention before she got married. I had assumed marriage might have tempered her, but apparently not. You've got to be careful, Sab, I warned. More out of habit than real concern. Don't let your husband find out you're playing with fire. She waved a dismissive hand, the diamond on her finger catching the light. What's the harm? It's just a little excitement. Better than straight up cheating on him, right? Actually, her expression shifted, becoming intensely focused, intensely intimate. I recently found this incredible place. It showed me what being a woman can truly feel like, the kind of pleasure, the kind of release. It's something you've only ever dreamed of. As she spoke, a slow, satisfied smile spread across her face as if she were reliving a delicious memory. I shook my head quickly. No, I couldn't. Greg and I, we have enough excitement. It was a lie, and we both knew it. All right, suit yourself, she said, finishing her drink and standing up. I'm heading home, but the offer stands. If you change your mind, call me anytime. She walked away, leaving me alone with the dregs of my gin and the echo of her words. I thought her suggestion was something I'd never consider. I was wrong. That very night, I changed my mind. Section 02. Tonight was our scheduled night for intimacy. That's what it had become, a scheduled, clinical event on the calendar. By 10, Greg was already showered and in the bedroom. A flicker of hope, stubborn and foolish, ignited within me. I let the anticipation build, allowing myself to imagine, just for a moment, that tonight would be different. It wasn't. Before I could fully lose myself in the moment, it was over. Greg's voice, thick with apology, broke the silence. I'm sorry, Addie, he murmured, his body slumping beside me, already a world away. I think it's the pressure from work. It's been overwhelming. I stared at the ceiling, my own body a taut wire of unspent energy. I forced a smile onto my face, a mask of gentle understanding. It's okay, honey, you were great. Another lie. He rolled over, his expression suddenly serious. Actually, Addie, there's something I need to talk to you about, to ask you anything. Greg, just say it. It's about the company restructuring, he began, his voice earnest. Preston Graves is the one calling the shots. My whole career, everything I've worked for, comes down to his decision. So I was thinking, maybe you could help me. I knew instantly what he meant, my fists clenched under the sheets, my entire body starting to tremble. I remembered the last company dinner, the way Preston Graves' greasy eyes kept sliding down my neckline, the way his hand lingered on mine, hot and damp, when he accidentally brushed it during a toast. Greg wanted me to sleep with his boss. Greg, I whispered, my voice shaking with a rage so profound it felt like ice in my veins. How could you even say that? I'm your wife. My reaction seemed to startle him, as if he genuinely expected me to agree. He reached out, trying to pull me into an embrace. Addie, baby, don't be angry. I shouldn't have thought that. You're right. Forgive me. The thought that he, my husband, would even conceive of such a thing, sacrificing me for his ambition, made the man beside me a stranger. The disappointment was a physical weight, crushing the air from my lungs. Get your hands off me, I hissed, recoiling from his touch as if from a snake. I feel sick. I'm sorry. I really am, he pleaded, his voice desperate. I'm only trying to climb the ladder to give you a better life. I swear I'll never think like that again. Just stop talking about it, I said, turning my back to him. I want to sleep. He fell silent. Within minutes, the sound of his deep, even snoring filled the room. My eyes were wide open in the darkness. Sleep was an impossibility. His snores were a steady, rhythmic torture, each breath a reminder of his betrayal. For over a year, he couldn't satisfy me, and I had to pretend it was fine to protect his fragile ego. And now this monstrous suggestion, divorce. The thought was a flash of lightning, illuminating the wreckage of our life, the face of our child. No, I couldn't. The reality was, we had to keep going. This miserable, soul-crushing life had to continue. When would it end? And then, like a whisper from the devil himself, Sabrina's words slithered back into my mind. The kind of pleasure, it's something you've only ever dreamed of. Asterisk, an image bloomed in the darkness of my mind, vivid and forbidden, a strong chest pressing against mine, a powerful embrace that wasn't an apology, but a demand, a force that would love me. Asterisk, take asterisk me, and give me the release I so desperately craved. My mind was a chaotic storm of anger and unfulfilled desire. Before I could stop myself, my hand was reaching for my phone. My fingers flew across the screen, sending a message to Sabrina. Are you awake? Asterisk, almost instantly, my phone buzzed with an incoming voice call. I slipped out of bed and padded to the bathroom, closing the door behind me. Well, hello there. Sabrina's voice was a triumphant purr on the other end. Changed your mind already, Lilypad? I took a deep breath. Yes, I said, my voice firm, surprising even myself. I want to go, just once. Section 03. The next day at work was a blur. My mind wasn't on spreadsheets or deadlines. It was a constant, moment, humming anticipation, waiting for Sabrina's call. When my phone finally rang, I snatched it up. Addie, where are you? At the office, I replied, my voice hushed. Perfect, I'm on my way. A short while later, I was in the plush leather passenger seat of her car. She drove with a casual confidence, navigating the city streets until we arrived at an unassuming but clearly exclusive building, the Elysian Sanctuary. The name itself sounded like a promise. As we stepped out of the car, a wave of hesitation washed over me. What was I doing? What would happen inside? Sabrina must have sensed my sudden fear. It's okay, Addie, she said, her voice a reassuring murmur as she took my arm. Just one taste, you'll see. She led me inside, not to a main reception, but down a quiet, carpeted hallway to a private suite. I never could have imagined that this one taste would become an addiction. The suite was a world of its own. After a brief shower in a steam-filled marble bathroom, we changed into the spa's silky robes. Just as I tied the belt, two men walked in. They were both tall, sculpted like Greek gods, and handsome in a way that seemed almost unreal. A hot blush crept up my neck. My friend is a first-timer, Sabrina announced, her voice playful. You'll have to take extra special care of her. She didn't wait for a reply. She simply wrapped her arms around one of the men, a stunningly built man with dark, intense eyes. He responded instantly, his arm circling her waist, pulling her flush against his hard body. Sabrina melted into his embrace like a contented cat, then playfully tapped his chest. Let's go next door, darling. I watched, mesmerized, as he effortlessly lifted her and carried her out of the room. The man remaining turned to me, his voice a low, soothing baritone. Why don't you lie face down on the massage table? Let's start by helping you relax. My heart hammered against my ribs as I complied. This was the first time I had been this close to another man since my wedding day. My mind, a traitor, was already racing ahead, imagining what was to come. I was so tense, my muscles felt like stone. His hands landed on my calves, his touch firm but surprisingly gentle. He began to knead Discipulo, kneading away the tension. He didn't do anything improper. He just massaged me, slowly, methodically, his rhythmic pressure working its way up my legs, my back, my shoulders. Gradually, under his expert touch, my body began to betray my mind. I started to relax. Section 04. Once the tension had bled from my muscles, I could truly feel his hands. The pressure was perfect, a dance of strength and gentleness. Suddenly, his thumbs pressed deep into the muscles flanking my spine. A soft moan escaped my lips before I could stifle it. Before I could even process the sensation, his touch lightened again, stroking the area he had just pressed. He began a rhythm, a teasing torment of deep pressure followed by a light caress, the pace quickening, sending a cascade of delicious shivers through me. And then, just as I felt I was on the verge of something, his hand stopped. The abrupt absence of his tea